Hello, everybody, and welcome to Missing Gear. This week, I have COVID, so I am at home, and Dylan is walking around right now in the woods.
Parts unknown, Matt. Parts unknown.
Yeah. He just told me before the pod that he's cold, and he's gonna have to tough this one out because I'm not waiting for him to get a jacket.
I'll do anything for the pod, Matt.
Anything for the pod. So, this Richmond weekend, Dylan. The cup race was not overly exciting.
You know, it wasn't horrible because, there wasn't like 10-second leads, but, it was as clean as a race could be.
I would agree. It was the cleanest race I have seen in a long time. What I will say is I hope that this is not what we're going to see out of the Phoenix race.
Oh, definitely. It won't be.
I'm really hoping that, because they're running the same package, it's not going to be the same. I'm okay with clean racing. I like clean racing, but at the same time, I like my fair share of drama and my fair share of restarts. I think that's really what can make it interesting. It's just like any sport. You want the last 2-minute drive in a football game, or you want the 95th minute goal in a soccer game, or you want the triple overtime goal in hockey. You want that on the edge excitement.
That 5 laps to go.
I want that 4 laps to go restart. It's all 4 drivers up front. Who's going to get it? Who's going to spin each other out type deal.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for, and I hope that is what it is. There was 3 cautions all race. All 3 of them,
stages, right?
All 3 of them were planned cautions. The competition caution and the 2 stage breaks. And this is why, to those drivers or those people who watch that say, I hate when they do the stage breaks, I'm like, this is why I like the stage breaks. I like them because it breaks the race up a little bit, and it's not, they've been racing for 300 laps, and there's 2 cars on the lead lap.
Oh, yeah. It would have definitely went down to 5 guys on the lead lap if there were no stages.
Yeah, and then in my eyes, I'm like, everybody's so spread out that there's no good racing.
Yep, and that was the real good thing about this race, because it was super clean, and there weren't any cautions, but it wasn't that 8-second lead. Like, it was a minute, it was a second and a half lead. Like, it wasn't awful. It was feasible that Keselowski could have screwed up at the end, and maybe MTJ sneaks up and gets that victory.
Yeah, well, I could agree with that for sure.
And it was also kind of interesting how my pick for the 3rd best driver this season has been Brad Keselowski, and I've been standing behind him. And you personally have been thinking that it was MTJ the whole time.
Who's second.
And thank God I'm winning.
Yeah, you are. However, what I will say is I still think Martin Truex Jr. he's right there. Apart from the Darlington race, which he was crashed while leading. Granted, he probably would have had second. He just hurt himself. He would have had a top 3 in the last, I think, 9 races.
Oh yeah, and these playoffs, he's fine. He's almost more of a lock than Keselowski is for that championship round.
Yes, I could agree with that. However, to Brad Keselowski's case,
it feels like.
Yeah, to Brad Keselowski's case, though, I am regretting not picking Keselowski now for my Final 4. I think isn't he in your Final 4?
Oh, yes, definitely. I picked him over Chase Elliott.
Yeah, and I'm
feeling very confident about that.
Yeah, and I picked Chase Elliott. I just want, I was feeling Keselowski, but I needed to do something different, man. Who wants to have the same picks?
Exactly.
That's not exciting. That's not
And it is kind of a Sophie's choice, because, Keselowski and Elliott, in terms of my love for them, are pretty much equal. But there's this fire with Keselowski this season that I really like.
Yeah.
And he's improving, and his first 2 wins were kind of like chancy. but these last two have just been outright victories. He's looked great in them.
He has.
And
he really has.
That Phoenix race is going to be very similar to the Richmond race.
Correct. They're running the same package. I think I mentioned that earlier. Same package. This is the last time they got to run it. And this was a real testament of who's going to shine. Now, what I will say, for if you're Kevin Harvick, you might not have put your best car out there. You already got a win under your belt. You might be looking at that Richmond race as, you know what, let's test something out.
They were trying to do something different, weren't they, on a different pit strategy and everything?
Well, I'm thinking in terms of car setup. They were. But I'm thinking in terms of just car setup. They might have went out there, that Richmond race, and said, let's run something totally different. Let's take a big swing at it. If this works, then let's run this at the Phoenix race. If it doesn't work, well, we tried it. It didn't work. This was our gimme week because we already got a win under our belt. That race only means the only thing they were getting out of that race was trying to get more playoff points. And obviously they want to win, but in terms of
Harvick is so good at Phoenix anyway.
Right.
He'll be fine, I feel like.
He'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. I just feel like they went out there with the mindset of, let's just try something different. What do we got to lose? We're only going out here to try to win the race. If we get second or 40th, it's not going to hurt us or help us anyway.
They have so many playoff points.
Yeah,
they're fine.
they're fine. So they're just thinking, if they're different pit strategy, let's try to get a win and go from there. And obviously it didn't work out. I think he still got a top 10, maybe right outside the top 10. But scary for Keselowski. You were right. Great picks with the Penske team.
God, I love Penske.
Great pick on that. My MTJ was looking good all race, obviously.
I would say it was a good pick, even though it didn't work out for you.
Yeah,
completely.
That was. I'm okay with that pick. Brad isn't consistent enough yet to where I can say I think he is going to win this race. And I say that in the regard of he can win one year and then the next year be completely dog shit on the same track.
True.
On the same track, if you go to Dover, I'm guaranteeing Jimmy Johnson was going to do good. I don't care what car he's in. I don't care what. He's going to make something happen. And he did. Both those races this last year, he made something happen. Certain tracks are just made for certain drivers. That's like Kevin at Phoenix. It's really just when they refigured it, he's just been dominant there.
Yeah, it's his fallback. It's what he always has in his back pocket.
Right. But really, yeah, it is. And I would say the same for Kyle Busch at Bristol. He's been just outstanding there. Am I saying he's
picking Kyle for Bristol?
I'm not saying who I'm picking, Dylan. I'm not giving away my pick just yet.
He's been keeping me up these past couple days, thinking this is got to be the week for him, but I don't want to pick him.
Where are our points at, Dylan? We haven't gone over our picks from last week. Where are our points at? I think you gained 3 points, right?
Well, Matt, as we explained earlier, I am in the middle.
Oh, that's right. You're in the middle of the woods.
Parts unknown.
You are in the middle of the forest.
I do know that I gained 3.
You did.
We both picked Ford.
Yeah, so
and
are you.
You had. Okay,
I think I'd still be ahead, right?
Head, I think it was 57 to 72.
All right,
I think we
so
both
it's
picked Ford. I picked
60 to 73. All right.
And I picked Hamlin, so it's...
You did pick Hamlin. I know you picked Hamlin. You did get a stage win.
73 to 60.
Yep.
61, I think, right now.
All right. All right. Well, we'll get to picks later. One other thing I want to talk about, the last 2 races, and something that pains me to say, is who the hell picked Austin Dillon to be plus 30, I think it's 38, 36 above the cut line right now. If somebody out there legitimately looked at the playoff grid and 100% confidently said Austin Dillon's going to make it, I think they would be absolutely insane. But here we are.
Who the fuck would ever guess this? Well, he's never accomplished a fucking thing besides a couple of surprise victories. Jesus Christ.
I really don't, dude, Dylan, I don't get it. You know, I think part of the position he was in at Darlington was just good pit strategy, I believe. And obviously the leader's crashing. But then when it comes to Richmond, he had good track position to start.
He had 5 best cars.
He had good track position to start, and he just didn't lose it. I thought originally, I'm like, oh, he'll drop to the back. No, he just stayed there.
But
and then was outrunning cars.
He got that penalty, and then he came all the way back. He looked awesome, and I hate saying that. I hate saying
Dylan.
Austin should never be a thing.
I agree. I fully agree. I'm really glad he fucked up pit road entry on the last pit stop. I say that because honestly, that was our saving grace for him to win the race.
Thank God he at least didn't get a stage, because that stage victory would have transferred. Thank God it was Hamlin, and then it was just Brad taking over.
Thank God. I'm so glad. I mean, they just outdrove him in the last few laps, which is just a testament to how bad Austin Dillon can't keep a lead. But coming down to the end, the last pit stop, he missed the pit road entry. And I kind of laughed. I'm like, that's the most Austin Dillon thing you could do. And
that's
then
something Tyler Reddick should be doing right now. But Austin Dillon's doing it, and he's been in Cup for 7-8 years.
I think that's just a testament of how much pressure he hasn't been under. That the minute he was like, oh my God, I have a good car, like I could actually like outright win a race, he just fucks up because I don't think he knows what that is. Like, I don't think he knows what being under pressure is.
Right, he's never been in a pressure situation in NASCAR.
Not in NASCAR.
Like maybe
and not in the Cup Series at least.
500, and
not in the Cup Series.
Words can't express how I feel right now.
And again, I think that Tyler.
But thank God he's not good in pressure, because he hasn't been in pressure, because he never runs meaningful races like this.
I think the absolute best thing that could happen for both of us, which I don't think is going to happen, is he crashes out like right at the beginning of the Bristol race, and then like Ryan Blaney wins it, and then he's out of the playoffs.
My prediction for Bristol is he is going to shit the bed. He's going to finish in the 20s, but he's going to have enough of a cushion
that
he'll
be fine.
Races,
yeah, he'll be
that he's going to make it to the round of 12. I
really hope he doesn't. Insane. I mean, we all hope that he doesn't make it. I don't even care that I didn't predict it right. Like, I just hate Austin Dillon that much that he's so bad that I just can't believe that he actually did it. Like, honestly, him making it out of the round of 16 is probably the biggest thing he did in his career besides winning the 500.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
and the 500,
it is.
It can get a little chancy. Like, I remember watching that at, like, my cousin's wedding, and my God, I couldn't believe that happened.
I also couldn't believe who... I hate it, too. Dylan, I hate it. I also was just... Yeah. That's all I have to say is yeah. Because I just hate Austin Dillon that much. Oh, my God. Well, so... The Xfinity races. Let's talk about that for a second. I watched the second one. I caught the highlights of the first one. I believe you did the same.
Pretty much exactly the same thing for me.
Yeah.
Justin Allgaier. Wow.
Boy, talk about lighting it right at the right time.
Yep.
Really.
Hitting that switch.
Just flipped, and you know, even the second race I watched, he was talking to his crew chief like, yeah, I just don't know when I should go. And I'm like, dude, if you have that good of a car and you're maintaining like a 2-second lead and you're like not even pushing the car 100%, dude, what did they put nitrous in that thing? Like, oh my gosh, like that good of a car, that really good of a car. And it was a real testament to show when he because I believe they reversed the field for the second race and he was 20th. It did not take him nearly that long to get back up to the lead.
Oh, yeah, he was just on it, going. And I do want to talk a little bit about the few of the Fords. They were struggling.
They really were.
Chase Briscoe just shit the bed.
They really were.
Austin Cedric, he looked okay.
Yeah.
And he locked up that regular season championship.
He did.
But if I'm them, I'm shaking in your fucking boots.
I really am.
Oh, my God.
And Justin Allgaier has tied for the most stage wins with Austin Cedric.
Right now, if I'm them, you almost have to stop Allgaier before he gets to Phoenix.
Honestly, he has now emerged as the third driver.
He is
in the Xfinity Series. He is the third driver.
Right now where Harvick is, where it's just like, you need to stop him before Phoenix, but now he's basically done so well.
He's gonna pretty much be in Phoenix.
He's almost gonna get to Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
he's third on the grid now.
He is, yeah. Well, with those 3 wins, and 10 stage wins, he's up there. And one thing I want to mention is looking at the playoff grid for the Xfinity Series. I do have it in front of me. He has the most DNFs out of the 12 drivers right now. And
which is insane.
That's crazy to think.
Experienced guy.
That's crazy to think that with 6 DNFs, he still has 3 wins, 7 top 5s, and 14 top 10s with 6 DNFs. Take those 6 races away that he didn't finish. He would have finished in the top 10 14 of the 19 races he ran, and that's just crazy to me. He's really turning it on. He is the third driver in the Xfinity Series right now, in my opinion.
Yep. Really, the question is, who's going to be the fourth guy? Like, Gregson has been super quiet.
It's honestly, he has been. It's a crapshoot right now because honestly, if Ross Chastain can actually win a race, he could be that guy. He's got all
the momentum right now.
He could be that guy. Ross Chastain has 12 top 5s, 22 top 10. Ross Chastain has only finished outside the top 10 in 3 races.
Yes, he has been Mr. Consistency.
Unreal numbers out of that guy.
Here's the thing with Ross Chastain, though. He's kind of got what Clint Bowyer has in the Cup right now, where Clint Bowyer has ran 2 really good races in the Cup. He's gotten top 10s, but Kyle Petty said it best after the race, after that last race, where it's like, this is what you get for driving without a net. Clint Bowyer is still in a super scary position going into Bristol, and he's good at Bristol, but
he is. No,
my God, do I
agree.
not want to be in this situation.
No, I agree, but Ross Chastain, man, he's third in points. He is Mr. Consistency, like you said. If there is a guy who could point his way into the round of 4, if he doesn't win, that's fine, but if there's a guy to point his way in, it's going to be Ross Chastain. Say Austin Cedric, Chase Briscoe, and Justin Allgaier all win a race in the last round, it will be Ross Chastain. I'm not 100% confident in that, obviously. Who knows, but he's there.
Yeah, what a mixed bag for Penske this weekend because Brad looked amazing. You know, he's going to race that car at Phoenix.
Yeah.
Joey Logano turned it up. I think Logano finished third. He looked awesome. You know, he took that summer off. It rejuvenated him, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryan Blaney is on the edge of getting... Ryan Blaney is in the shittiest position.
He killed his whole round before the Darlington race started with failing post-race or pre-race inspection at Darlington and had to go to the rear. That
didn't have a good race at Darlington
killed him. No, he only got the 20th, and that he never could recover. And the same thing happened at Richmond. He actually that's not as he's historically that's his worst track.
Yeah, he sucks.
He sucks there.
He sucks.
And he was doing I shouldn't say doing. He was running 11th, 12th, maybe at the beginning of the race, and then they had to bring him back down pit road after the competition caution to tighten a loose lug nut, and that killed his whole day right there. 2 things that wasn't really necessarily his fault, with pre-race inspection and the lug nut, and that just shot both of his days, and now he's in not necessarily a must-win situation, but you got to get a lot of stage points situation.
He had a nice little net, and he put a giant hole in it.
He did. If he would have came out of Richmond with the same amount of points behind, I think he was 17, 16 maybe behind in going into Richmond. If he would have left with that going into Bristol, I would feel confident saying he could point his way in. Bristol has been a great track for him. He's had some bad luck there. He's really led a lot of laps there. That has historically been a good track for Ryan Blaney. But he just needs to put it all together in the end, is what it comes down to.
And he's got a bunch of other guys that are just
as hungry,
charging because they want to make it. They want to advance.
Well, yeah, there's just as many guys. Clint Boyer is one of those guys that could go out there and surprise the world, and I mean that's a good track for him too. Could go out there and win.
Matty D is gonna just
Matty D also a great track
race,
for him.
It's gonna be this one.
Also a great track for him. That is where he's been probably one of the best. I think he's led laps in the last 2 Bristol races.
Yeah.
Apart from the All-Star race.
Matty D, that amazing Bristol race that he had a couple years ago.
Last year. And I'm still heartbroken. Denny Hamlin passed him with, I think, 12 laps to go. But that was Denny Hamlin class act at the end of that race, by the way. But that was the race where I was hoping Matty D could pull one off and win. Obviously, didn't happen. But Clint Boyer's out there, and he's only 3 above, and he could go out there and get some points. I don't expect anything out of Cole Custer. Maybe. I mean, sometimes that guy just shocks the hell out of me.
Yep. I mean, hey,
who knows? Who knows? William Byron, that's also one where I don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot. It could go either way. I mean, he's been running good the last few races, but there's still something to that. Of like, I don't know. There might not be anything there.
Yep. And then there's Kyle Busch,
Kyle Busch could light the switch at that place.
Safe, but he might just go balls to the walls and try to win this one.
He might, and
it's a good track for him.
It is. It is a very good track for Kyle Busch to win there. The truck race is going on right now, and the truck race is in the first race of their playoffs.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
I have not been following it at all. I am in the woods.
Literally, you are in the woods with the truck series. One thing... sorry. In terms of the truck series, Sheldon Creed's turned it on late. Zane Smith has been doing outstanding for his position. Austin Hill has kind of surprised me. I say kind of.
He won the points, right? The regular season points?
Yes, he did. I'd say kind of because he's not... He's just quiet. I don't know why, but I just get... He's
consistent and quiet, yeah.
Consistent and quiet. I don't hear a lot from him. What I will say is surprising. Johnny Sauter didn't even make it into the playoffs.
Crafton has basically struggled. He's just lucky he got that win.
Crafton,
the complete opposite of Crafton.
Crafton still has second most top fives. I mean, he's had his moments. Yeah, but that one win
There's some races where he's just kind of, it's like, that's Crafton?
Yep. I could agree with that. Brett Moffitt, he just has gotten unlucky winning. Honestly, I think he should have a few wins under his belt. He really should.
He might get a win yet.
Yeah, he might.
I wouldn't lose faith in him.
I'm not Brett Moffitt. I'm not going to lose faith in Brett Moffitt.
Yeah. And honestly, this truck season, I haven't followed it too closely because it hasn't interested me as much as the Xfinity and the Cup. It hasn't done it for me. Maybe if Crafton was a little better, or if there's more names that we know are going to make it to the Cup.
Right.
It would. I mean, I don't want to say Creed or Zane Smith aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
But it's just, they're not sure things.
Yeah, there's nobody.
When Chase Elliott showed up on the scene, I knew Chase Elliott was going to go.
I really do think Zane Smith can make make some moves. From what I've seen out of him, nobody else, maybe Todd Gilliland, but nobody else has really stood out as like.
Yeah, there's no Cole Custer where it's like this kid is 17, he's going out there and he's just killing it.
Yeah, that guy's gonna win some races. There's nobody that's really shocked me of like, oh, he is going to do something. Nothing super like crazy good, you know. That's kind of what I got out of that. But that's a track. Xfinity is a whole different ball game. That's silly season stuff. Speaking of silly season, Daniel Suarez will not be racing next year for Gaunt Brother Racing in the '96 Toyota. This really opens up a few things here, Dylan, in my opinion. Where
do you think he's going, Matt? Where do you think he's going?
I don't know where Daniel Suarez is going necessarily, but what I do think is a possibility is that Denny Hamlin is going to join, or if not start his own team with affiliation with Gaunt Brothers, and they're going to be the affiliate team for Joe Gibbs, and they're going to have another team. So they're going to be a two-car team.
He just buys Germain Racing? Germain Racing is going to sell, I believe.
I think he will buy Germain Racing, and I think he'll buy the charter and all the assets for it, and I think he will then make a two-car team with the Gaunt Brothers, potentially, here, this is all my opinion, and have it Denny Hamlin Racing, and then have the affiliate with Toyota and the affiliate with Joe Gibbs Racing, and that'll be a two-car team.
I don't think he's allowed to have an affiliate with Joe Gibbs, so I think that there's weird rules, because I think that he stays at the 11 no matter what.
Well, I could agree with that.
Yeah, weird rules where I don't think he can be like a surrogate for Gibbs.
Okay. I think he will. I think he'll make a team. Maybe not next year, but eventually he'll make a team. But the question is who. I feel like Joe Gibbs will have a charter team or a affiliate team. It's just a matter of who. And who's going to take the other Toyota team? The
evil empire.
Right, who's going to join the other Toyota? Like, who's going to drive the... I think Toyota wants to sponsor 6 teams, so...
Yep.
Who's going to be that other team?
Back.
I don't know. Eric Jones is not going to come back. If you're Richard Petty Motorsports, the first call I'm making is Eric Jones. I think...
I heard a thing where RPM has one of their executives is really into expanding the diversity in NASCAR. So I'm thinking maybe Suarez.
Suarez will be it then. If that's the case, it would be Suarez. I think because I feel like Bubba is going to Chip Ganassi or Hendrick. I feel like he wouldn't leave Richard Petty Motorsports if it wasn't for a more funded team, and I feel like those two options are the more funded team, unless he somehow makes his own team and or is on part of a new team.
I think he would align himself with Hamlin, assuming Hamlin could get one.
If that goes down and if that happens, I think he'll be with Hamlin. But if that doesn't happen, and that maybe that's a year from now, I think he will go to Chip Ganassi or Hendrick.
True.
In my opinion.
I heard Hendrick apparently already has a driver picked out, and we just haven't heard of him, or we haven't just heard what it is, who it is. But the 48, I mean, they had Allgaier right there. I don't know if Allgaier would be the guy, but I didn't really like him.
I like Justin Allgaier in the Xfinity Series. That's where he can excel. That's where he can win races. If you put him in the Cup Series, I honestly just feel like he is not going to do that great. I just feel like there's nothing that's really going to happen, and he will be better off for Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity Series than in the Cup Series.
I do too, but I mean, I'm just saying, there's a chance. There's a chance, man.
Really, really anything is.
Yeah,
can
I
happen
think
here.
that Kyle Larson would probably be the best choice for the 48, but
I don't
Chevy,
think
cut ties.
I
with
think
Kyle
Chevy
Larson
did.
too.
I think Chevy is. I'm sorry. I think Kyle Larson's best option to get back into NASCAR is with Stewart-Haas Racing in the 14.
And that's where I'd want to go to
and that's,
if I'm Kyle Larson.
If I'm Kyle Larson, I think that's going to be his best option for team. I think, obviously, he's not going to go back to Chip Ganassi. I think Hendrick's a great team, but I just feel like you're right. I think Chevy just cut ties, and he'd have to go to a different manufacturer. And I don't think Toyota is going to pick him up unless, again, they expand to a better, more funded team, and he then goes to a Toyota if something comes up. But I don't think that plan is developed enough yet from what I can tell. And, I mean, they're going to be in Daytona in 5 months for the next season. I mean, I know we're still trying to finish up this one, but it's coming sooner than you think. I mean, 5 months ago, it was April, and we didn't even have racing yet.
Yep. I do want to make one point with Bubba and potentially going to Hendrick. Now, you didn't see this on the broadcast, and I'm going to get into it in a second, but stage one, I was listening to the MRN broadcast coming home from a friend's house, and there was some Bubba Jimmy beef, like big time. Like Bubba sent Jimmy into the wall and basically ruined his day, and Jimmy was coming back to retaliate. But then I went and I got home and I started watching on the TV broadcast, and I texted you and I'm like, "Yo, are you seeing what's going down with Jimmy and Bubba? Like, what's happening?" And there was nothing.
I didn't even know about it. And I wasn't even told what was going on.
They're the worst fucking network ever. They make ESPN look great.
Okay, all right. In NBC's defense, I will take NBC over TNT's coverage. TNT.
I don't know anymore, Matt. I don't know.
No, TNT was bad. All right, TNT was the worst. However, NBC has gotten worse in the last 2 years than they previously were. And maybe it's just taking me this long to realize. Maybe that's just it. But they've not. They've gotten worse. And please just bring back Jeff Gordon and Mike Joy with Fox and Larry Mack, because they can do no wrong. Honestly, I love all those guys over there. I love when they had Darryl Waltrip. I know he's gone now, obviously. But
I
even
like the team more for Fox than I do.
Oh no, I will not say that. I refuse to say that. I do not like listening to Michael Waltrip at all.
I like Michael Waltrip.
Awful. I do not like listening to anything he has to say. I feel like he's so not relevant in the sport anymore, and he's trying so hard to be relevant, and it's so cringeworthy to me because he's only won. He's only won, I think, 3 races, and 2 of those were 500s. That's his only claim to fame.
I think he got 4. But isn't that sad that we're fighting over 3 or 4?
3 or 4, yes, that is sad. And he hold on. No. Remember the spin gate, Dylan? We talked about this just last week.
Oh, yeah. He
owned those cars. Yes, he did. And his team went under because of that.
True.
Because NASCAR fined him $300,000.
His punishment.
I just don't like Mike Waltrip, is what I'm trying to say. He's so bad. I feel like his insight, I could probably give better insight as to what's going on, because some of it's just so obvious.
I think we have.
Oh, we definitely have.
I think we have.
Definitely have.
But anyway, so fuck NBC, fuck Michael Waltrip,
back to the NBC.
And honestly, fuck Bubba for fucking Jimmy over this weekend.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Just a 1 week, fuck Bubba, all's forgiven next week. I don't think that there will be any retaliation. But this week,
not from Jimmy.
I'm going to give Bubba the fuck 'em.
All right. Bubba gets the fuck 'em of the week. I still want to go back to NBC. Their coverage has been really bad, and
Do you remember the Coke 400? I forget what exactly we were pointing out that was so horrible about that, but they were not doing that great of a job for how great of a race that was.
I will agree with that. I think part of it, and after you made a comment about it, is really Jeff Burton honestly is not that great. And you know what? After you pointed it out, I've really started to listen, and he's just not that great of a commentator.
It's decent insight, but his voice is horrible.
I don't even think his I actually don't think his insight's that great. You know what? I'll be honest. There's a few times I pointed out that I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I love... All right, in NBC's defense, I absolutely love what Steve Letarte has to say.
Yes, Steve Letarte.
I love what he has to say. He knows what he's talking about. He has great insight. He's been on the box. And what I do also like is I do like some of Dale Jr.'s commentary, and I like his commentary from the relationship he had with Steve Letarte, and I like his commentary from a team owner in the Xfinity races.
They're bros. He's pretty experienced, and him getting paired with Jeff Burton is just great for him because he looks
way better. He looks way better. And don't even get me started about Rick Allen, all right? You get me going. I hate Rick Allen. He is the worst person on that broadcast by far. I do not care what anybody else has to say. He is so bad.
He should go back to trucks.
Just leave.
He's a good truck commentator.
Yeah, well, that's... Oh, my God.
Play-by-play guy. Yeah.
I can't... All right, back to NASCAR here. Bristol race this weekend. I know we talked about it earlier. Who's going to be the biggest surprise in that race? Who do you think is going to just come out and just put on a awe-inspiring race? I know we talked about a few people like Ryan Blaney, Matt DiBenedetto, but who is your number one pick going into that? Like, he could have a great race, and he could go out there and just get a lot of stage points and points his way in.
I think it's the three Fords that still have a realistic chance. Now, I'm kind of taking Cole Custer out of that because I don't think Cole Custer makes it, but who knows? He could surprise us.
He has surprised us before.
Boyer, it's DiBenedetto, and it's Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney has to go balls to the walls. Matty D might as well do the same because, I mean, his season's just going to kind of be done after this race if he doesn't make a real move. And Clint Boyer, you know, this is one of his only good tracks. This is his spot. This is the one that's in his back pocket. He's done well the last 2 weeks, but once again, he doesn't have that net. Kyle Petty said it best. He doesn't have that net. So he's got to go all out. And then that on top of all the other guys that are trying to just go balls to the wall as well. I think that those three fence Fords are going to be the story going into this week.
That's a very good point you brought up there, Dylan. It's going to probably be the Ford show this weekend, in my opinion. It's going to be either the Ford show or the Kyle Busch show.
The Fords and Kyle Busch, basically.
Yeah, I could see a lot of big things. They're hungry. I think everybody above the cut line is going to be a little bit more conservative in the fact of like, all right, I'm like 10th right now. I don't need to go up and win the race. I just want to make sure I'm not like 30th.
Except for Harvick, Hamlin, and I think Brad, they all might just be really aggressive.
They might just say, screw it, what do I got to lose? You know? Too. Yeah, like, what do I got to lose? But I think a lot of those mid-pack guys, Chase Elliott, I mean, he just needs to have a good day. He doesn't need to go out there and win the race. He doesn't need to go out there and, you know, get 30 stage points or 20 stage points. He just needs to have an okay day, you know, to get it to the next round. Same with Martin Truex Jr., same with Joey Logano. I'll even throw Alex Bowman in there. Everybody else, I think, below that, and Austin Dillon, really, is we got to go out and we got to get as many points as possible or win the race.
Yes. The stages are going to be interesting, too. It's going to be just a great race from when they drop the green flag to the checker flag. It's going to be great.
And the Bristol night race has been good the last how many years to begin with? now
God.
you throw a cutoff race in the playoffs into the mix. Oh my God, Dylan, dude. It's going to be a great race. I don't see how it can't be. All the way to the end, I think it's going to be a great race. NBC somehow is going to fuck it up. But you know what? That's fine. I think it'll be a good race in the end. I'm very excited for when we're done, I'm going to go watch the truck race if there's anything left. B, the Xfinity race tomorrow. And C, most importantly, the Cup race on Saturday night. Also, one more quick testament I want to make. I love all the night races in the playoffs. Big fan of that. Just want to throw that out there. Love
Although I think that this is the last real night race, though. In the playoffs.
I think it's the last true night race. Yeah, because obviously Talladega isn't. Obviously, the Roval won't be. Phoenix will bleed into the night. I don't think Kansas is. Honestly have to pull up the schedule. I don't fully remember, but it's the last true night race.
It's going to be awesome. Do we want to go into the picks?
Let me give you my picks.
All right.
Well, you go first. You're behind technically. You get to go first. I shouldn't jump to.
Would you like to go first?
No, Dylan. I feel like you're not going to pick my driver anyway. So.
All right. Well, I think I'm actually going to make this pretty fast this week.
All right.
I'm going to go Ford for my manufacturer.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to go Stuart Haas for my team, just because of Clint Boyer, and I could see maybe Kevin Harvick getting aggressive trying to win. Who knows? Maybe Amarola does something, but I'm going to go Stuart Haas. And right here, there's a little part of me that just, for some reason, wants to pick Joey Logano.
Fuck, Dylan, how? That's what I was going to pick.
You were going to pick Joey?
I was picking Joey.
I was thinking this could also be just a Hamlin, or Hamlin will just match Harvick this round. But Kyle Busch, it feels like this is going to be the Kyle Busch show. It's going to be the fence Fords and Kyle Busch. And I think that if you got to pick between the fence Fords and Kyle Busch, you might as well go with Kyle Busch.
Well, all right.
So I'm gonna pick Kyle. So.
All right, there we go. All right, you know what I pick. I'm picking Joey.
You're picking Joey? What about your team and your manufacturer?
I'm for sure going. Oh, I'm gonna go Ford, and then I'll go Gibbs. I'll go JGR.
Trying to cut into my Kyle Busch, huh? Or pick up some points for Hamlin.
Hamlin might do it. You know, he's probably he was my second pick. Honestly.
Hamlin was my 3. It was Kyle Busch, it was Joey Logano, and then it was Hamlin.
Yeah.
With Kevin Harvick as a 4th, because I don't want to pick the fence Fords. I don't want to just going, I'm all Matty B this week, or I'm all Clint Boyer.
Right.
They haven't, maybe if it was the Xfinity Series, and I was saying this is Ross Chastain's week, because Ross Chastain's been going balls to the wall lately, but these guys, they're on the fence for a reason. They're not...
Right.
They're scaring me.
I could agree with that. I could really agree with that. It's going to be interesting. I'm really excited for this Bristol race. I really am. This is going to be a good race. I can't tell you the last race I've watched. Last Bristol night race I watched that I wasn't disappointed. They're just all good.
Oh, yeah.
All good. Now I say that, I'm going to knock on some wood quick. Make sure I don't jinx it.
Knocking on wood right now, man.
There you go. See, you never know.
Also, side thing right now, I've successfully exited the woods, and I'm in my backyard right now, and I have a pretty big yard at my house.
Yeah.
But my God, are the cars on my road loud. So just want to apologize to all 12 fans if they're picking up some of this.
It's that hick truck right there. I can't even hear him, honestly.
Really?
No, I can't even hear him.
Then I got us off topic for no reason.
Yeah. Right now, Dylan, 1 point for the Xfinity winner. Go.
Ooh. Yeah, it's Bristol?
Bristol.
Briscoe, baby.
Briscoe.
I'm going Briscoe.
Briscoe. All right. Who am I going to pick? I'm going to go off a little limb here. I'm going to go Noah Gragson.
Ooh, saucy.
Yeah, just off a little limb. I don't know. I'm just feeling it.
He might need it. He's been very quiet.
He might surprise. I could be way off. I just shot in the dark on that one. Well, we will talk.
Hey, you gotta zig when I zag, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, we will talk next week about the race recaps. Hopefully in person, not over the phone. But we're still doing it. We still did it. No way we're going to stop. The audio is going to be garbage. But we did it.
Corona can't stop.
Corona cannot stop us. We are going to do an episode every week until the end of the season, minimum. Guaranteed.
And maybe beyond.
And who knows after that? We might watch some reruns of a race. Anyway.
Talladega Nights review. Maybe even Days of Thunder. Spin-off podcast. The Missing Reel. How about that?
One great idea for a movie review podcast name. One to give you credit for that. I love it.
The Missing Network. That's what we're going to be by the end of this.
Yeah.
The Missing Network.
The Missing Network. There you go. Well, we will talk next week, some Bristol recap. And honestly, any of the news that comes up, because this week wasn't too overly busy, but you know what? Next week might be, so who really knows?
Crazy world out there.
Yeah, but I'll talk to everybody later, and hopefully better audio to come next week.
Please remember to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend. And guys, have a great week.
Have a great week, guys. Bye.
Bye.